Hi everyone, welcome back to my God of War 2 Titan mode video guide walkthrough. We have just slain the Barbarian King, and now we are fighting just some minions here. And these guys can just be taken out with the circle button, grab kills. You can also interact with the Barbarian King's body if you want to. See what it says. Bring back horrible memories of the past. To be sure. So, hop on this grappling point, cross the way, and this is pretty much just a linear path you're following. And there's going to be some warthogs up here. Took down a pretty tough boss. We still have the blades at level 2. We're going to be working on, upgrading to level 3 pretty soon. So here's the warthogs. But we are on our way to Euryale's castle. Her little her den over here. She's actually the Medusa boss we're going to be facing. The temple of Euryale. And I always die right here jumping. It seems like it's kind of broken right there. So we see some skeletons there. We see a door that's going to freeze you if you get hit. And if you don't break yourself free of getting petrified, you'll get slammed by some spikes that come from the ground. So we're going to come over here, and there's a door to the left of the actual temple entrance, but it's locked, so we need to grab the key here. It's a cutscene. This poor dude up here. So we are going to be making our acquaintance with that guy a little later in a couple videos. So just grab the key off this corpse here, and then several beast riders are going to spawn, and these guys are pretty annoying, but you could block all their attacks. And even though you're blocking some of the attacks, it'll make the sound like you're getting hit, but just always check your health bar, because you're never going to actually take any damage. But they can actually swipe at you pretty damn hard, take away some significant damage. These guys were really problematic for me on the Perfection is Divine challenge, because I did that challenge quite a while ago, and the object of it is to kill all the enemies without getting hit. And there's a little supplemental bonus if you clear all the enemies. It includes a rock monster and a bunch of skeletons and these guys and some summoners. It's really crazy. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done in this in a God of War scenario. But you cannot get hit, and there's a bunch of these guys there. And I actually did the bonus challenge without using any magic, so it's on my other channel if you want to scroll through my playlists. It's under God of War 2 challenges. So head back here once those enemies are cleared, and then we're going to hit the save point. And there's some jumps here. You can fall in the pits and die instantly. Just hit the save point, and then we're going to open that door with the key we acquired, and these skeletons are going to be animated here. And that guy ended up in the trap up there. So these skeletons are on the trial I was mentioning too. That you can block all of their attacks. You cannot grab them until they have the circle prompt over their head. And then they're pretty standard, but they do a couple. They'll like spin around and damage you a few times. Like right there, hit me a few times, and you can't get out of that whole sequence. So these guys are. They kind of remind me of the enemies in Castlevania, the ones that reanimate after you hit them. Those ones that never die, those skeletons. So up here, there's a couple more skeletons. So don't. So just be cautious as you make your way up there, that there's a couple more of these guys. They usually sneak up on me, but I believe this was a subsequent take, so I knew all about their spawn point there. And there's also a chest that we're going to grab over here. It's a really well hidden chest in my opinion. Right here. Nice one. See, this is how the game hides chests from you with really clever camera angles. So this game is all fixed camera, meaning you can't okay, so right here we're gonna finally get the blades up to level 3. So we can actually do the triangle move, and the blades of Chaos 3. Excuse me, what am I saying? The blades of Chaos on level 3 also give you access to the L1 plus triangle, that little circular swoop. Grab this enemy item here, and I wish there was a way to disable certain moves that you don't want. Not for the entire game, but just for certain sections, because some of the moves they mess me up. So over here, we're going to be facing another ogre, and I'm kind of calling them ogres because I want to differentiate them from the cyclopses. I know these guys have like one eye, and they're technically cyclopses, but these guys aren't the cyclopses that you rip the eyes out of. So I'm just calling them ogres. So you got these beast riders atop these ogres here, and you notice that the ogres have some new attacks. That's because also remember that we fought these ogres in the Destiny's Atrium a video or two back, and they didn't have these ogres. They didn't have all these attacks, and the reason is that these demon riders that are on them make them more aggressive. I was reaching for a word there. So you cannot dodge any of these guys' attack. They do like that move is right there. That's a very dangerous move to be caught in. A little later on in the game, I think you could remove the demon riders from the beasts. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can, because that was kind of another of the trials. I remember that being the case. So I imagine that if you wanted to, because once you kill this demon rider, and once you kill the beast and he falls and whatever, there's going to be a couple more demon riders that spawn, and they have horns that they blow, and they're actually they summon these ogres with their horns. So you notice that guy in the background, and you may even have heard it. I hope I wasn't speaking over it, but he attempted to call one of the ogres, I think, but no, he actually did call an ogre, because I remember an ogre coming up this cliff face here. So he did call the ogre, but I don't think it did the full sound effect for it. But what I was trying to say was that I think that if you really wanted to, you could stay in this area and keep allowing these beast men to continually call ogres up the cliff if you wanted to, if you were really wanting to focus on this area and get a lot of orbs. I think I ended up having 3 ogres spawn, and that wasn't because I was taking my time or anything. It's just because they got off one of the other demon riders that appeared. I think he got off another horn call, so the other guy got summoned before I could take him out or reach him. So you just got to roll away from their attacks. Use a triangle move. It's a good move. Use your bow and arrow if that's your prerogative. So when they swoop around horizontally like that, they'll finish off with like an upward hit of their club. So you got to watch out for that. That hit me a time or two. They just have a lot of HP, and our blades are only up to level 3. It's taken us a long time to get those blades to level 3. So my next upgrade will probably be the Kronos' Rage. Get that thing up to level 2 at least. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not ready to commit to that yet, but I think it might be. But I'll let you guys know whatever I'm doing. So I kind of wanted to speak about some factors in this game that about moves. There's cancelable moves and non-cancelable moves, and the cancelable moves are like when you're just hitting with the square button, and you could get out of the combo and like dodge away. Now some of the moves, okay, that's what happened right there. He was like invincible or something in that animation, so I couldn't grab him. That's the reason he spawned this third beast. A non-cancelable move, that's like one of the most that I can think of that just stands out to me the most, because I just finished up facing the Cerberus boss battle, and this move that I'm going to mention right up here is one that kept messing me up, because to move that, if you're blocking a lot and dealing with enemies that you need to block with them a lot, and you're hitting the triangle button, the square button. It's that move where you do the the little twirl around. It's L1 plus square. It's the I can't remember the name of it right offhand. I may leave an annotation in a little later about if I remember that name or if I look it up. But you do the little twirl all around you with the blades, and like a little circular move that damage. Now you can't. That's a move that you have to finish it. It has to complete its cycle before you can dodge. So that's a prime example of a non-cancelable move. Only commit yourself to those moves if you're absolutely sure that you can finish the combo without getting damaged. Because once you commit to it, there's no getting out of it. So that's why I always am very safe with trying to set up moves. The triangle, triangle, triangle move is also a move that you can't get out of unless you haven't hit the final triangle command. So, like, you could do a couple of them, and then you could dodge away. So, I would consider the triangle, triangle, triangle move a cancelable move, partially because you can get out of that combo if you just don't press the triangle button a final time. So, all in good time. I'll cover everything as I see everything occurring on screen. So, I'm going to get this treasure chest, and I forget what I get. I get the magic. Okay, that's great. Got the magic. So over here, this is a kind of little puzzle area, but it's not a puzzle at this point in the game. It's something you have to do afterwards once you clear this entire building entrance here. So just do the button interactions here, and then head on down this hallway. And there's a couple of chests that you need to grab over here, and there's a checkpoint situated up a ways down the hall, but each time you restart the checkpoint, you have to do this sequence again that I'm going to be doing right now. So you want to stand on the middle of this crate here, but don't ever destroy the crate on which I'm standing right now, because there's a hidden treasure chest in there. But the thing is, you need this crate here to have the height advantage to knock this treasure chest down, and all I'm doing is trying to stand in the middle and tap the triangle button when I'm at the apex of my double jump. And you see that chest fell, and then I'm going to destroy this crate, which also contains a hidden chest of red orbs. And it's kind of hard to jump up to this little platform. You see I struggle a couple of times. But this next part I don't really care for, but I have a really good strategy for dealing with it. So I'm going to be approaching that. Okay, so we got a phoenix feather. So what I like to do now, there's two ways to go, left or straight. Just go straight first, and whatever you do, don't jump down there into that little pit right down there, because once you jump down there, once your feet make contact with the floor down there, the two wraiths are going to spawn. So what I like to do is just take out these aerial enemies with the bow and arrow, and you see me doing it very slowly. That's because if you do a bunch of quick shots off, some of the times the bats will fly behind the rock in the middle, that column of rock that you destroy later on, and you fail some of the shots, and you need all your magic to shoot all those bats off. And don't worry about having to waste that magic, because we're going to get more. We're also going to get some health here, and we're going to backtrack and go down the left path instead, and then get some more magic so we can use some Kronos' Rage on the two wraiths that will be spawning over there. So this is going to be the first time we're going to be facing some wraiths without the Amulet of the Fates active, because before we first encountered them, we had the ability to slow down time. So now we don't have that luxury, and it's kind of a little close quarters fight, but I'll show you guys how to handle it in the best way. So just kill these undead soldiers, and then grab the two chests down here once you make your way down this pathway. So you want to get these chests, fill up your magic, and then get the that chest gave us 15 orbs. I had 611 before I opened it. Then I had 626. That's really shitty. Wow, that's really bad. So drop down here, drop some Kronos' Rage as well. That one didn't take very well. But essentially, these are grabbable enemies. So if one gets like stunned and launched up into the air, and another one's like stunned and on the ground, just grab the one that's on the ground and just grab them once, and then press the circle button again when they're in the air, and you can get a nice like a 2 combo hit on these guys. And about 4 grabs, and I think they're about dead. I don't believe there's any higher versions of these guys, like any more difficult versions, like any other versions of them that are just different skinned versions of the Wraiths. There's a lot of that in this game. One that I've encountered recently is the Medusa that has an upgraded form. Real pain in the ass. Actually, there may be 2 upgraded forms of that Medusa. So these guys actually, so when you see them, when it's just one-on-one, they're extremely easy. You can block every single one of their attacks, but they can get a lot of hits in on you, particularly if you fail the block and they get a bunch of combo hits on you. So up here we're going to be doing a little swinging, and this is pretty simple stuff to do. And heading up this ladder here, and then cross the vine branch, or the vine pole here, whatever it is. And some enemies are going to drop in. This looks like they're on top of that platform here, where these chests were, but I'm not sure if that's just a spawn erraticacy or some kind of inconsistency. So yeah, I'm a little concerned that I'm not getting so many orbs. Not only am I not getting some of the orbs, just blatantly not getting them in certain treasure chests, but like the treasure chest I got back there with 11 or 15 orbs, how the hell is that going to help me, you know? So up here, just take out the 2 columns on the left and deal with these enemies here. These guys are very easy enemies. All you need to do is grab them and then keep pressing the circle button to get them in this little loop here, where you can just keep grabbing them until they die. It's pretty damn good. Or you can do this move. This is one of my favorite animations right there. It's really fun to do. For this central post here, all you need to do is interact with it via the R1 button, and then tap the L1 and R button. Now when you're doing that button press right there, you don't like tap the L1 and R buttons simultaneously. You got to press like L1, R1, L1, R1 just really rapidly back and forth. So that's what I've been experiencing as far as being able to complete that little QuickTime event. So up here is a chest, and to get some health back. And what's this one over here? So, okay, a red orb chest. And this puzzle that's up ahead, when I very first played this game so long ago, this puzzle here really stumped me to the point where I had to go on YouTube and look for the answer. And when I saw the answer, I felt so ashamed of myself that I had to look on it. It was the same way in Dante's Inferno on the one of the fraud chapters, where there was a puzzle where you have to interact with a cauldron or something, and I had to look again, and it was the same sense of shame and just being disappointed with myself that I had to look. But some of these puzzles can be pretty tricky. I think this one is really notorious for being one that stumps a lot of people, and hell, it stumped me to the point where I had to look for the fucking answer. And, you know, once again, I just felt horrible about myself that I had to look, because once I found the answer, it's like, duh, you know, God. But some of these puzzles, they can be pretty boggling. And this one, it actually makes sense, but it's kind of a stretch, especially if you don't know that that the waterway is like a circle around the whole building here of this area that you're in. So just beware of that. And the dead body was the one thing that was vexing me. It's like, I'm supposed to. So the thing is, you're supposed to put this dead body on the switch behind the wall that I destroyed at first. But there's those 2 spikes that you can't you can't throw the body over these 2 spikes, and you can't obviously walk through the spikes. And you can't like jump with the body in your hand. So this is the only way to do it. And it was an incredible sense of shame for me to have to look, and I just try to avoid that if possible these days. So just hit the save point here,